Right now, we want to dive just a little bit deeper into how the pandemic has impacted women at work. According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, women have been forced out of the workforce at 4 times the rate of men. So how do we address this problem? Well, to weigh in this morning with some solutions is Reshma Saujani, founder and CEO of Girls Who Code. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, but these numbers are really tough to swallow. So let's dive into them, right? Why are women leaving the workforce? Is it simply because they have to care for their children, who many are, doing school remotely?
Yeah, I mean, so as you know, more than 2 million women have left the workforce. So our labor market participation is where it was in 1989. In less than 9 months, we lost 30 years of progress.
Wow.
And I think there's two reasons for that. First, it's the uncertainty of schools. We are in a childcare crisis. And essentially for the past year, most of us as mothers have had to, log our kids onto Zoom at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock, all the while doing our full-time jobs. We're exhausted and we're tired, and we're forced to either go on food stamps, move in with our parents, or take the third shift. And so it is pushing mothers out of the workforce, mothers who want to work. And the second reason is because many women found themselves in jobs that weren't pandemic proof, in retail and healthcare and education. And these jobs aren't coming back. So these are two of the major reasons that you're seeing so many mothers, so many women forced to leave the workforce, which is why we need a 360 plan to get mothers back to work.
Yeah, I want to get to that plan just a second. But when people look at this and they say, okay, but why is it disproportionately affecting women? Why isn't it affecting men at the same rate? Help explain that.
So that's right. 3 mothers are leaving the workforce for every 1 father, because we know that so much of the unpaid work, so much of the unseen work is falling on mothers. Over 85% of the homeschooling is being done by moms. We already know that globally, 75% of, the housework is done by mothers. So we are picking up that burden. And for so long, we have seen mothers as America's safety net. It's crazy when you think about it. When they decided to close the schools, or they decided to offer hybrid learning as an option, they never thought about us. We had this 1950s sensibility. Well, somebody is going to have to do that work.
Right.
Well, that somebody was mothers who work, right? We live in a society where we don't have a lot of mothers who can afford to stay at home, especially single moms. Almost 70% of low-income households, the breadwinner is a woman. And so when she loses her job, the entire family suffers. And nobody thought about this.
And it's really tough when you look at the future. So in order to try to combat this, what kind of resources are out there in the midst of this pandemic to help mothers and other women who find themselves at home trying to figure out the plan forward?
That's right. We need resources. We need money. We need a 360 plan to get mothers back to work. The first thing that we've been calling for is, monthly cash payments to mothers so that we can actually put cash in their hands so they can decide what they need to do for their families, whether that's buy food or pay for childcare. Secondly, we need to pass policies like paid leave and affordable, daycare, childcare. We're one of the only countries in the world that doesn't offer a structure to help parents take care of their children. And it's wrong. And finally, we have to invest in retraining. As I said, many of these jobs, they're not coming back. And we simply can't afford to let millions and millions of women be unemployed. Their families are depending on them.
So what you just explained there is what's called the Marshall Plan, right? Are there any drawbacks to this plan?
Well, yes, we're calling it a Marshall Plan for moms. I don't think so. Listen, if we're in the process of building America back better, we have to build motherhood back better. We simply cannot survive as a society if we leave, our mothers, unsupported and not respected and not valued and not seen. Our country's economy, this is an economic issue, right? We cannot afford to leave so many talented women, so many talented mothers unemployed. It's not good for our children. It's going to force them into child poverty. It's not good for the innovation of our country. So we need a Marshall Plan for moms. We need it now.
It's definitely a trickle-down effect. But where is the job growth for women? I mean, is that even available? Is that even out there?
Absolutely. Listen, in my day job, I'm the CEO and founder of Girls Who Code. And we have been talking about this forever that, the more that jobs become innovative, the more opportunities that we have to retrain, the next generation and get them jobs in technology and coding. We're not going to solve COVID. We're not going to solve climate. We're not going to solve, cancer unless we have women, sitting around that table thinking about the solutions of today and tomorrow. So we need their innovation. We need their labor. We need their intelligence. We need their participation.
Yeah, and coding is something that a lot of times women can do from home, right? It's something they can do remotely, working for these big tech companies that do pay quite well. Reshma, I know we could continue talking about this for many more hours, but thank you so much for the information that you provided and the good work that you are doing to support women out there.
Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting the Marshall Plan for Moms. We have a huge opportunity here.
Absolutely, we sure do. We appreciate you coming on the show. Take care.
Thank you.